Shalom, Shalom. This is Yair from GMS, Savannah, Georgia, coming with another lesson. But first and foremost, I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekak Radash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders and elder bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and to the arching pushing this 100% truth and sincerity, four corners in the earth, while risking their life and freedom to do so. And salutation to the hopeful elect, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but your father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson I'm going into right here is strictly folly here in Babylon the Great. You can't make this up. This is some straight madness right here. And we'll here's some precepts to this lesson that I'm about to play.
All right. So the black one, I pay $3,100 a month. The gray one, I pay $2,900 a month, so a total of $6,000 for these two. The car that is in Houston with my brother, which is the Cadillac Vistic, which I'll put in here. I pay $1,700 a month to get both of my car to wash every 2 weeks, $120. So total of $240 a month. Insurance is about $1,100 every 6 months for both of these cars, but for all three is $3,400 every 6 months, which is not bad. So total, I pay $7,800 worth of car notes. Every 6 months, I pay $3,500 for insurance and $240 a month for car washes. What do you think? Is that too much to pay for three luxury cars?
So wait a minute.
So you look at it right now, we in Jacob's trouble. Eve is a single mom. She want to go out here and buy these vehicles. You ain't doing nothing but making yourself a target anyway. I'm going straight into this Jeremiah 4:22. For my people are foolish; they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. And that's crazy. You paying all this money for these vehicles that depreciate. But like I say, I believe most of them cars, they're electric. So when the grid go down, they ain't gonna be able to. Hey, once they out of the charge on them, you can't move them no more. It's crazy. It is so crazy. You know why this is going on? 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And that ain't nothing but keeping up with the Joneses. Loving the things in the world. Everything's fixing to go digital here in a minute. And like I say, maybe, maybe we know something you don't. Maybe it's enough money to do this. But like I say, you still making yourself a target out here. Like I say, I'm pretty sure you can take that money and do other stuff with it. You know, more constructive. And then putting it in vehicles, especially electric, they ain't gonna be able to move if the power grid go down. Jose 4:6. My people destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou have forgotten the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I will also forget thy children. You know, like I say, these single mothers, a lack of knowledge. You know, no husband going to buy all these vehicles, and a lot of times this is kind of like you just throw it back into the husband's face. You know, or two. Who knows? You know, who knows? You know, it just trying to keep up with the Joneses, being worldly. And like I say, we in Jacob's trouble now. People are watching. You know? And like I say, you got always somebody watching. You know, these devils, they damn sure watching you. You know, they contemplating. You know, hey, yeah, you might be in a nice neighborhood, ain't no YNs in there, but like I say, you know, people are always plotting. You know, to see what you got going on. You know, that's why it's so good to fly under the radar. You don't have to put this out on a social media platform. You fly under the radar. But these man, they have no knowledge of nothing. They put this out to make themselves look big, and you're not. You're making yourself into a target. You know. So you women out here that, you know, that follow Yahweh Shem Yahushua, don't you know, you know not to do this and stuff like that. You know, this is crazy. You can't make it up. You know. You know, don't the hell with the world, because like I say, this place is circling in the drain. You just continue to just, you know, pray on to Yahweh Shem Yahushua to have that strong tower to covering. You know, because all these material things are gonna be destroyed here in Babylon. You know. You know, and like I say, this ain't nothing but a 2/3 anyway. But hey, we trying to get up out of here when that time come, because all that stuff gonna be destroyed. You know, all that worldly stuff, that don't even damn matter. You know, we just trying to get a seat on the chair to get the hell out of here. You know, to be the hopeful elect. That's the main thing. The hell with everything else. You know. But I hope this is edifying to the whole sheep and lamb, corn, Yasharala, call Allah, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. On to the next lesson. Shalom.